off a miss are up the floor, and they get the easy layup there from Danny Green. Now we'll go second quarter action. More of the same. Steph Curry gets to the rim, no good, and watch Kawhi Leonard. You know he'll get the ball up the floor quickly. He will find Lowry, who finds a trailing Marc Gasol. You see some discombobulation in that Golden State defense. Again, the transition defense, not good at all. Fourth quarter last night with the Warriors down 9. Once again, it starts with a quick pass off the rebound. Look at that. Gasol gets it, and boom, they're off and running. It's Siakam, pushes the break, draws the defense wide open. Danny Green in the corner. Warriors lose game 1 by 9. They'll need to get it back in game 2 on Sunday.
Biggest thing for me was our transition defense was just awful, and that's the game. That's the number one priority when you play Toronto. You have to take care of their transition, and we gave up 24 fast break points. We turned it over 17 times, so that's the game, really.
We'll have to get back on defense next game and really limit their transition points, make them beat us in the half court. Yeah, we did a good job limiting Kawhi, but it's not Kawhi Leonard, and it's the Raptors, so we'll go back to the drawing board and see what we can do better for Sunday.
Let us go live now to Toronto. Stephen A. Smith is standing by, getting ready for First Take, which is 25 minutes away, and they're live in Toronto. So Steve, I'm going to set it up with you the way I did with these guys. If I told you yesterday the Splash Brothers would score 55, Draymond would have a triple-double, and Kawhi Leonard would only make 5 shots, we never would have thought the Raptors would win the game. So what happened?
Well, what happened is that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson really didn't have any help offensively. The fact is Steph Curry did his thing. He was getting doubled, but he got limited assistance. Klay Thompson did his part to some degree. Obviously, we've seen him be more explosive in the past, but he did his part to some degree. But Andre Iguodala was no factor whatsoever, and I think that was key because he's going to have opportunities where he's got open threes, whether it's from the wing or from the corner. He's going to get those shots. They're going to dare him to shoot those shots. They're going to dare Draymond Green to shoot perimeter shots, and if they can't show you the ability to do so, then you've got yourself a problem. In the case of the Toronto Raptors, obviously you did a great job from Iguodala and others in terms of defending him, switching on him, doubling him, getting the ball out of his hands, but Siakam was a monster last night. Hit 14 to 17 shots, finished with 32 points. Gasol was a factor as well. 20 points on 6 of 10 shooting. When he was in the game, they went to him. So it really comes down to this. Not only do you have athleticism and size, but the ability to switch on Toronto's part obviously proved to be to their advantage because when they doubled up or switched on Steph Curry, he got no help. But when they did it, when the Warriors did it to Kawhi Leonard, he had loads of help, a three-headed monster. Siakam, Gasol, and Van Vliet coming off the bench to drop 4 3-pointers. So it's really about those other players, not the marquees. Kawhi Leonard is going to do his thing, but it's almost one of those situations where you got to sit back and ask yourself, is it a better strategy for the Golden State Warriors to let Kawhi Leonard just go ballistic, get his, but neutralize everybody else, at least for big chunks of the game, so they'll be cold that way when you transition to really getting the ball out of Kawhi Leonard's hands? The other guys didn't catch a rhythm, and you could throw them off kilter. It's the kind of strategy that they're going to have to think about. They can talk about their transition defense all they want to, and it's nice and it's accurate, but that's not the biggest thing. The biggest thing is that the supporting cast of Steph Curry did not show up, which elevates the significance of Kevin Durant's absence. We can't ignore that, and it's also really, really about just stepping up and somebody making a contribution on the offensive side of the ball. It's really that simple.
You sort of took me to my next question, and so I will lead you there further. Did you get the impression watching this game last night that the Warriors will need Durant if they're going to win the series?
Well, hell yes. That's the immediate answer, number one. But number two, I would say to you this. Despite the absence of offensive production from anybody outside of Steph and Klay, the Warriors were still in this game and still in position to actually win this game. So you got to take that into consideration. But in the end, listen, it's the injury bug too. Iguodala is not healthy, and he got hurt in the fourth quarter again, from what I'm hearing. Boogie Cousins comes off. He comes back after a 14-game absence from getting hurt in Game 2 of the Western that they are a team, particularly defensively. We knew they were an elite defensive team coming into the series. They proved that last night. But there is no way on earth that Pascal Siakam, he's my most improved player. He can ball, but 32 points on 82% shooting? What on earth is going on? That's not something that can be allowed. That cannot happen. That just can't happen.
And then one final thing. Again, Siakam, clearly was brilliant last night. The last player to put up those numbers in a finals win was Michael Jordan in 1991. Final thing they want me to ask you. We saw you courtside speaking to Drake before the game last night. What can you tell us about that conversation?
My conversations with people like Drake and others are between us. I don't divulge that level of information, even though I work for ESPN. The fact of the matter is I honor a code when I have private conversations with people. I keep it private, but let's just sit up there and say I let Drake know how I feel about this series, going into the series, and in the aftermath of the game, I'm sitting here looking like Austin Powers, like Dr. Evil or somebody. Oh, I got to think about it now. Oh, damn. I shouldn't have said that. Oh, so I'll just leave it at that. Let's just say that Drake was very, very confident, and his confidence was validated on this particular day, but it's still a series.
Well done, Stephen A. We're looking forward to it. 20 minutes from First Take here live on ESPN. You guys down there, or up there, I should say, in Toronto. Thank you, Stephen A. We will see you shortly.
All right, y'all.
As you guys get started here in just a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, our next WNBA game is over on ESPN2 tonight, 10 Eastern. The Mercury host the Las Vegas Aces. You can watch it live on the ESPN app from anywhere. All right, he just brought up an interesting question about strategy involving that guy, Pascal Siakam, and other ways that perhaps Golden State goes about trying to defend the Raptors. We'll talk about that.